Hello, nieces and nephews. This is your Uncle Bill here. Welcome to week 16, year 2022. Wow, hard to believe that I made it this far. 1957 is when I first started walking this earth. Of course, I didn't start walking back then. This is Critique Week, where we critique everything, even Uncle Bill and his interesting presentations. Well, today, as usual, I have five crazy things. Hi, Bridget D. It's great to see you here. Bridget is my favorite moderator. She does a great job. Well, here is the first thing on my list of crazy things to critique this week. Now, I made the mistake. Uncle Bill does make mistakes. Yes. One of my daughters, she was clearing out her stuff. She said, "Dad, here's all my stuff. I don't want to deal with it." Andrew, great to see you here. Andrew's Simple Cooking, one of the best places on the internet to learn about cooking. Why? Because Andrew makes cooking simple. Not only that, he doesn't add a whole bunch of extra BS that you don't want to listen to, because Andrew has nice short videos, shows how to cook the food, and then he's done. It's perfect. Anyways, the first thing that we're having here today, and I'm sharing, is, yes, happy Easter, Andrew. You know, I didn't even know that next week in Greece is the Orthodox Greek Easter Sunday. I found that out from my friend Manos, and I would butcher his last name if I said it. I think it's Mankousas, and probably butchered it. If I did, Manos, sorry. Okay, I learned about from my youngest. Uncle Al, great to see you here. Dive Bullfrog, this is the best channel to go to. Dive Bullfrog 79. You go to his channel and you'll find out, one, the local news that you don't get told, and two, how to prepare. Yes, how to prepare and cook too. Now, here we go. This is what's called a disc book because it uses discs for binding. My youngest had said disc book and the punch. The punch is very expensive. It's about $30 to get the punch. And I've been dying to review that, well, open this up, but I was waiting until I was online to do it. It's brand new, never been used, and I will critique this week's. Oh, wow, even that part is bound up. I was getting ready to flip it open. You can tell I haven't opened this at all. Well, anyways, this is a disc book. I initially did not like the disc books because you need about this much to just even start with the disc book. So you can't just start with one or two and put it in a binder, and you got to worry about all these discs and everything. The nice thing about a disc book, though, is that you can supposedly, let's get to one of these pages and let's see if it pulls out the way it's supposed to. See, look at that. No opening of rings. You just pull the page right out. That's a disc book. That's number one. I like them. I might review it, but that's one of the crazy things out of Uncle Bill's house. Woo, it's going to be one of those days. Uncle Bill was working all Sunday doing taxes because they're so much fun. Then when I said, "Oh, yes, I did get that third stimulus check," all of a sudden, my tax refund, I wish I had looked at it beforehand, because I think it was like $4,692 before that. And as soon as I said, yeah, they gave me that third check, it went down to $29.50. So that was number one. Now, number two is, I bought this yesterday. I don't have time to review it yet. Tube Pal. That's P-A-L. And I paid $67 for the commercial license. I think there's another license you can get that's even less. But I figured I'm going to get a commercial license. There were a whole bunch of add-ons. It had an extensive funnel. Now, anyone who doesn't know about a sales funnel, it's kind of shaped like this. And on the very tip top, we have an offer that's usually between $20 and $40. And at the very bottom, that's where they finally let you out of the sales funnel, and they're going to pop an offer at you that says, do you want to white label this product? And no, I don't want to white label it because I don't even know if I like it yet. Now, Design Beast, I decided, because I made a mistake the other day with Paul Pona, not a mistake in purchase. Well, it was a mistake in purchasing. I double purchased one of his products. And I said, even though they give a 30-day money back guarantee, I don't believe in having others pay for my mistakes. So I said, hey, please give me a refund or just give me the agency to Design Beast, because the other one was Sketch Genius, and I mistakenly purchased the agency again for $97, and I had already purchased it because that's the way, when you get old, you forget things sometimes. Now, that was number 3, right, Bridget? And number 3 leads on to number 4. Now, number 4 is this tape right here. This is the blue tape that they give you for doing painting, and it works really well. Now, you want to get the 3M tape because that's the one that has the regulation amount of stickum to it. Now, one thing that people don't know about this blue tape is that if you do leave it on long enough, it will peel paint. So don't leave the tape on. That's number 4. Number 5, I think I've shared this one before, but I'm going to share it again. Oh, why didn't I share this one? I got all sorts of crazy things around here. These are amazing. They last forever, except the batteries don't. So I have to replace the batteries in it because they got real tired. It takes an 1130 battery, not even a standard LR44 battery. This is a business calculator. Now, before we use these, what we used to use, no batteries required, are these. Now, I've already shared this before. This is my K&E slide rule that Uncle Bill got for $3. Can you believe it? $3 for a nice antique vintage slide rule. They didn't know what they had. I've been running around doing TurboTax. Maybe I should do a review of that. This year was a little bit different with TurboTax. I don't know if I was totally satisfied with the product. I actually had a piece on my tax return, which on one of the lines they said, see attached document, and they never had the attached document added to my return. Seeing as it was only a $125 item, I decided to just let it fly and see if the IRS says, hey, we want an explanation on this, because I'll give it to them. But TurboTax woulda, coulda, shoulda done it right. Now, either it's TurboTax or it's TD Ameritrade that was at fault there because, excuse me. Oh, that's okay, Bridget. It happens from time to time. Well, anyways, with TurboTax, sometimes you get things. I import the data from my brokerage houses. So because there's 2 parties involved, either one of them could be at fault. Now, this morning, oh God, sorry about that. I I was all ready to go out the door, and I wanted to sign my things and send them off. In California, you have to pay your taxes right now. So I go to pay them, website error. Is your website down for maintenance? Is your bank down for maintenance? And I knew it wasn't my bank. I spent a full hour getting turned down to give the state $68. Then I turned around and spent another hour to try to get the state, because they want, not only do they want last year's taxes paid, but they want this year's taxes paid. In other words, 2022, they want your estimated taxes for the first quarter of 2022, which for me is $1,285,000. I can't believe I have to pay that much in taxes, but it's just crazy this year. So I'm trying to get that into the FTB website. They have a web pay site that you log on, you go through all the rigmarole. And I can't count the number of times I got up to that last process and it would crash. Last process and it crashed. I'm going to send this on in anyways. I decided, well, just check in. Why don't I check to see if any of the check my old transaction log, make sure that my initial payment, which is for last year's taxes, went through, because I wasn't, for all I knew, they might have canceled that one out too. And lo and behold, my $1,285,000 transaction was showing as pending, meaning it had been accepted and it was going to go through. I was happy. I sealed everything up and I went out the door, a happy camper. TurboTax paid off again. Now, everyone is encouraged to file electronically. I go the other route. I am one of these people that if I'm going to pay taxes, I'm not going to make it easy for the person on the other end. It's just in my general nature. I guess it's because I don't like paying taxes. I think that we should be on a consumption tax rather than an income tax. We should be taxed based on what we buy, not based on what we earn. A lot of people that earn a lot would be very happy with that. The tax situation is so crazy in the United States this year because we had incentive taxes, not incentive, stimulus checks. I can't remember what the other one was, but it was basically to try to get the U.S. economy going again. And we had that stimulus check. And lo and behold, everybody got, well, not everybody, but a lot of Americans got used to the stimulus check. They began to start expecting to get paid for nothing. And because of that, when it was time, Madam Madara, I can't pronounce the last name. It's Uchicha. Did I come close? I hope I didn't mess up your name too much, but it's great to see you here. And Uncle Bill, nice to see you. Well, nice to see you too. And I think I went to your channel, and if I remember correctly, there weren't any videos on it. So you watch videos, but you've been on YouTube for a long time. And I did subscribe to your channel, though. Back to the incentive checks. Because we got the incentive checks, it made it hard to get people go back to work because they were used to getting paid unemployment and an incentive check. Well, why go back to work if you're getting unemployment and an incentive check? Lo and behold, I went to file my taxes. I'm down to the last switch. It says, did you get this letter from the IRS. And I did get that letter and the incentive check. I didn't even want the incentive checks, but I got them. And I could swear to God they took more than what the incentive check is off of my refund that I was going to get. Who knows? I should have. And you know what happens when you should have? You should have all over yourself. So it was kind of interesting. Now, let's see. What are we going to? We're going to critique this week. This week is going to be critiquing. I'm going to try out that tube pail, see how well that works out. I'm going to continue on with my Tube Buddy versus thumbnail hacks. Now, see, the thing is with Tube Buddy versus thumbnail hacks, the truth is I like them both. They both have things that they can do that actually they both. If anything, Tube Buddy overlaps Thumbnail Blaster in some things, and Thumbnail Blaster overlaps Tube Buddy in some things. However, there are things that each one of those does that the other does not. And that is one of the reasons why I like them both, and I like to compare them both, and I like to have them both. I like the Tube Buddy Pro version, which is what I use. That doesn't give me split test. Well, when I get to the point where I have enough views and I need split test, I'll go over to Thumbnail Blaster. And why did I name myself Thumbnail Hacks? Because half of the time, my last video I did with the comparison, half the time where I'm saying Thumbnail Blaster, I actually said Thumbnail Hacks and had to go back in and correct it on the soundtrack. Luckily, there was one point in that video where I did say Thumbnail Blaster, so I could just clip that and stick it wherever I needed it, which was a lot of fun. When you go to watch that video, see if you can find out which ones are the real Thumbnail Blaster, me saying Thumbnail Blaster, and which ones are Thumbnail Hacks. It was fun. The weather has gotten a little bit better in San Diego. And let's see, have I missed any questions? $1 million in taxes. Oh, wow. Yeah, Andrew. And if you believe that, I got some land to sell you. I guess it's kind of like all those people that claim that they're multi-million dollars and then they show you their forms and you only see maybe $100,000 for their whole corporation. And you're kind of like going, are you really a multimillionaire, or are you just saying you're a multimillionaire? You never know until you go. I critiqued a program a while back called Orange Drive. You won't hear about it anymore. There is a video somewhere in the archives if you look for them. Orange Drive, or maybe I'll put it up here. Who knows? I don't know if I put the cards in, if I lose all my, it's over on this side though. You got to go opposite sides. If I lose all of my chat, if I make any, I know if I take anything out of the live that I lose the chat, and I have the 10-minute warning. Thank you very much, Bridget. See, you are paying attention. It's great. And Madeira, you got any questions at all? I mean, I do love questions. Die Bullfrog, I'm starting to get kind of tired of grits and ramen because I got tons of it. I hope you've been able to get your ramen. I remember you saying that you couldn't get ramen for a while there. So hopefully ramen is coming in, and that I love fried ramen. I think that's like the cheapest little luxury you can ever have, where you just take that little 10-cent packet of ramen, you open it up, you throw away the flavor pack, you take the ramen, you half cook it by boiling it for like a minute or two, Then you take it out, put it in a fry pan with other stuff, and just fry it up. Add some soy sauce and some onions and whatever else you throw in there, and it is delicious. All right, I'm glad you're getting it. The Dollar Tree in my area is the least cost place for ramen at the moment. You know, I forgot to bring something that I was going to share. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I hope I have it. Yay! No, that's not it. I'm trying to get rid of using as much plastic as I do. And I bought these mesh bags. I bought them over at Walmart, and I've also bought them at the Family Grocery Outlet Center. Once you know it, I have like 100 of them, and I couldn't find it. I'll be right back. Right back. Keep talking. Here's a bunch of them. Anyways, if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. I stand to make nothing off of this. I think these were like $12 for 15 of them. They come in 3 sizes. This one's a little bit bigger than the other one. Wow. Saving on plastic. And that's what I'm trying to do, is not have as much plastic. These are great for using in the refrigerator too, because those plastic bags, whether you realize it or not, your fruits and vegetables, they like to breathe a little bit. Some do, some don't. But if you put them in this bag, they'll breathe. If you put them in a plastic bag, sometimes they'll actually go bad faster. So that was just another freebie. And it came with a little locker top, which is kind of nice for not having to tie a knot. I love these things. I think I got 15 for $12. It was the least cost option, and that was delivered from Walmart. Andrew, sorry, I don't know what prices back in England for these things. I just know that, our market's a little bit different. Whoa, I'm sorry that you're sleepy, Bridget. Do I need to do a dance? Keep you going? Or tell a joke? There's a very handy, yes, these are super handy. And after you get these, then you forget to bring your shopping bag. And I was so proud of myself. I brought these. I was over at the grocery bargain outlet store, and I go, oh, I forgot to bring my regular shopping bag. They're supposed to charge 10 cents. The way they get around it is they charged 15 cents and they called it an upholstery item or something. I can't remember what they rung it up as. It was a learning experience. So 15 cents for the plastic bag, which I have like 1 million of them at home. And it's just a question of just remembering to bring them with you. One thing you can do with those plastic bags, because they cut into your hand if you have them really weighed down, is get yourself a little section of garden hose or any sort of flexible piping and cut it down the middle, and then you just drop the bag into the slot that you cut and carry it by the hose, just 4 to 5 inches, and that will make a world of difference. Now, Andrew, I know you've talked about having carpal tunnel. This will help it so that you don't have as much pressure on your fingers from carrying the shopping bag coming home from the shopping. And man, I need to look for more stuff to tell you about. And I couldn't believe it. I have gotten to the point where I know that Uncle Bill suffers from clutter. I spent 3 hours, just more than 3 hours, a couple of days actually, looking through the house to find something that I had just laid down somewhere before going camping, and basically the something was my lottery ticket. And I was just sure that it was going to be a winner if I couldn't find it. So I finally did find it. These are handy, just little things that come with knives and stuff. The Art of Survival. Sorry to bang the mic. I hope that wasn't too loud. Pocket guide. Can you believe that? Just for this little thing, I can survive for a week. And if you believe that, it goes right along with my story about being taxed $1 million. Although it really does feel like being taxed $1 million. The funny thing about taxes are the elation that you feel after you lick and stick and you know you're done with it for at least almost a full year, because it always seems like that year just goes shoo. I think tax time comes around faster than birthdays, if you ask me. Andrew, what are you cooking this week anyways? I'm kind of curious what your next cooking video is going to be. Oh, brilliant idea about the hose. Yes, that was, I'd like to claim credit for it, but I know I must have seen it somewhere else. It just makes, you get something like the, hose, and now you're carrying on to this. Actually, you could just put 2 holes in this and do the same thing. It doesn't really matter. Not only did I forget to have my bags, I had carried that piece of hose in my backpack, and I was like going, oh, I'll never use this again. And I put it somewhere, and I didn't have that. I had all these bags filled up with bananas, potatoes, you name it, and probably about 20 pounds worth of food. And I'm carrying it in the bag. And yes, it was probably only really maybe 4 or 5 pounds, but after about 1.5 miles, it gets pretty heavy. I'm not sure. I did Chinese collaboration on Saturday for lemon chicken. That really went well. I am going to go watch that right after the live, Andrew, because I love collaborations. I'm going to work on doing a collaboration one of these days shortly. A friend of mine said, well, Uncle Bill, if you want to do collaborations, what you got to do is you watch somebody else's channel and then you reach out to them and you say, hey, I want to do collab with you. I would love to one of these days go and have somebody come to me and say, hey, do you really want to try to make a couple of my thumbnails better? Because I do have Thumbnail Blaster Agency, which literally means I could take and have unlimited number of channels that I'm doing thumbnails for. And of course, I would do a couple cooking with Sharisa. Thank you, Sharisa. Sharisa, did you hear about this through Andrew's Simple Cooking? How do you hear about us? Because Andrew's Simple Cooking, I don't know how big your channel is, Cooking with Sharisa. I will make sure to go check you out afterwards. But Andrew is the channel to kind of watch as far as cooking goes, I think. He's does very well. And Die Bullfrog does very well too. Uncle Al knows how to cook. Makes me so jealous. By the way, Uncle Al, I haven't finished eating my quick lunch. This is just potatoes, a little bit of ramen, no meat whatsoever in there, dried tomato, a little bit of fish sauce, a little bit of maji, some tapioca starch. Tapioca starch is like the magic. If you ever want to make something thick and kind of like like a gravy, try tapioca starch. It doesn't add much flavor and it'll make anything gelatinous. I love it. And guess what? I ran over. I was looking at the wrong clock. I'm going to have to fix my clock. I love you all. This is Critique Week. Have a great week and stay tuned. Oh, by the way, if you haven't hit the like and subscribe, love you. Bye-bye.